If it hurts, you ain't afraid, smoke against you, know it up, put on more steam. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, sides, through the game, tackle, this win it is. First you again, we're here for the first mate. Carry like you never 6 minutes.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
All I know is go Vols, because that's all I know. Go Vols!
Doesn't have to be perfect, ain't gonna be perfect. We go compete for 60 freaking minutes. All right, enjoy the opportunity, enjoy the environment, and then go play our butts off, play for one another, and have a hell of a lot of fun. Everybody got me? Yes, all right.
Mean! Woo! My God! Gene!
Well, I mean, obviously, we've spent, 4 years, trying to change the culture, trying to instill in these young men how blessed they are, to have an opportunity to play somewhere like the University of Tennessee. And what an honor it is to have that T on the side of your helmet, and that we're always playing for something bigger than us individually.
Make the decision. You're either a Vol or you're not, through thick and thin.
Let me just say one more thing. The standard at Tennessee is to be elite on defense. This is the home of Reggie White, Al Wilson, Eric Berry.
But you know what? Let's talk a little Vols. That is not me trying to take any shine away from the phenomenal channel Talkin VAWLS and my guy Boogie Bentley runs. So shout out to them. But let's talk a little Vols here.
Good Friday morning. Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Coach Jay is here. Foul Ming is in the house. Good morning, gentlemen. We're one sleep away. It's finally, God bless America. I am so sick of the bye week, Foul. We were joking about it in the back room, but look, it's been almost 2 full weeks since we've had a football game to talk about. I'm ready to put the bye week behind us and move ahead.
Absolutely, man. I'm just glad we're less than 24. We're a little over 24 hours away to kick off, get back on the grass. We can see some ball. We can stop talking about these same old points that's been run to death for about what Petrino's going to do, what book are they going to throw at us, all these different things. I'm just happy to get back in football form here and see what Tennessee's going to do. If we bounce back or if we're more like last year where we struggled coming off a bye week, do we have the same old lulls coming off a bye week, or can we come out, show who's got the better roster and just smack somebody in the mouth right out the gate? How you feeling this morning, Coach?
Yeah, what's your thoughts on that, Coach? Coming off of a bye week, from a coaching perspective, do you got to worry about getting the boys fired up, keeping them focused, keeping them dialed in? What's a coach's headache during the bye week?
For me, it's not so much keeping them focused. Usually, they've had a little time. You know, they've gotten some rest. They're getting fired up. They're getting ready to go. I think that kind of takes care of itself. I think where you worry about having sand in your britches, so to speak. It's just having that week away. Like if you think about the offense for a second, they had a really, really, good rhythm for most of the year. I know at Mississippi State at times it didn't seem like we were in rhythm, but they were able to kind of snap clear when they needed to in that game. So you worry about maybe not being able to pick up that continuity, that rhythm that you had when you before you came on the bye. But beyond that, I think Vols should be able to come out swinging. And from a coaching perspective, you're just anxious to get back out there and anxious to hit somebody and get that first contact, settle them down, and get them into the fight for the long haul.
Brian Staley's in the house. What is up, Brian? Brian feels like family, and I feel like Brian doesn't have to drop an Orange Boy. He says Rocky Top. He wants to hear Rocky Top. Maybe that'll wake us up on this Friday morning.
Hit it.
I almost missed it. I did miss it. I'll do it again.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
Shout out, Brian, and good morning. It's good to see you hanging out in the chat on this Friday morning edition of Talkin Vols. Let's catch up with the chat. Dylan for 5 says, could Shabazz rejoin this class, or do we think the bridge is burned? A lot of drama at North Carolina right now. 2 words come to mind when I think of JB Shabazz, and that's Kamari Blair. I don't see him flipping. Like, a lot of dominoes fell around Kamari Blair and JB Shabazz and Darius Gray, and I think ultimately Kamari Blair kind of took JB Shabazz, took his spot. Any thoughts on that, Fel?
I think it'd take more of an official coaching change. I mean, drama's drama. You're going to hear that. And then around Belichick, it's always going to be more played out than maybe it really is, more smoke than actual fire. So unless there's an actual coaching change, I don't see all those guys jumping ship just yet.
Yeah, I agree to that, Fal. I don't think they'll leave until it's actually happened. So we'll sit around and wait. Man, it seems like, not to get into a different topic here, but it seems like we're really going to have an interesting coaching offseason throughout college football. I could see there being a lot of movement. But hopefully Billy can hold on to his job down in Florida.
But I mean, you're also talking about a very busy portal potentially. We're moving to one window. If you got guys kind of like hemming and hawing, going back and forth about it, they might be more likely to say, okay, we got to do this thing now, which is, I mean, it's beneficial to them. It's also beneficial to teams to where you can set up a roster and know what you have and know what you may be missing and things like that versus waiting on a spring portal and losing some guys last minute. So
what do you guys think about the portal change? Kaner kind of popped this on me yesterday while we were recording Locked On Vols that he uploaded today, but talking about the portal window, I like where it's at. One thing that I didn't know, and Kaner kind of clued me in on, was that now if a coach gets fired or coach leaves, that 30-day window doesn't start until they hire a coach. I don't know that I like that. To me, if the coach bails, your window should start right then. But then I kind of see, now I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. This just kind of hit my head. Maybe you want to wait and see who the new coach is going to be before you bounce, and that may not take place within the 30 days. That kind of just hit me just now as I'm processing through that. But what are your thoughts on that, Fal?
Yeah, you're kind of protecting the school there, because if you don't have a coach in line or a guy already hired sitting at the door waiting for the guy to walk out of his office, you could potentially lose a large portion of your roster and then have to win them back versus coming in, here's what I can offer, here's what we're going to do. Now, if you still would like to leave, you can leave. So I see that more, giving more consistency, maybe more continuity to a team and protecting the team. Of course, the rest of the teams in the country want you to go ahead and open the door and let them jump ship, right? But that's probably better overall.
I kind of like protecting the school, giving them a fair chance. I think ultimately you want to try to push the players to give them an incentive to want to be at one school as long as they can, right? So that we don't have all this jumping ship. So we don't have to trade in jerseys to get a different name on the back of it, right? So that we can sit down and root for players a little bit more. I don't mind a step in that direction. We'll see, though, right? Like, does a player challenge this in the courts? Oh, they're affecting my ability to make money within this 30 days, Boogie. I'm going to sue you.
But
you.
Hubs brought up a good point. He's talking about when do you get rid of a coach? If you protect your school that way, if you get rid of a coach mid-season and the kids can't transfer yet, then that gives you not only till you hire a coach, which maybe this hiring the coach thing that Kaner's talking about, maybe that nullifies all this. But if you get rid of a coach during the season, then you have more time to bring somebody in and kind of get a selling pitch or sell that coach to your roster versus if it's postseason and a 30-day window, bam, it's over.
And I even laughed about it because all this stuff going on with JUCO and saying that JUCO doesn't count towards my eligibility. And it's like, where do we draw a line? Where do we finally draw a line in the sand with it? And I kind of brought it up to Kaner. What happens if a coach gets fired on week 3, that 30 days, you can't leave until the new coach comes in. Well, does Bobby Petrino count because he's an interim coach? Or am I now not allowed to jump in the portal? Whereas maybe if they hired a guy or there was an actual coach in place, you know what I mean? Like when they fired the coach at UCLA, it was you can jump in the portal right now. Like you can redshirt, save this entire season and jump in the portal. Well, now I can't do that. Does an interim count? Am I allowed to jump in the portal if Bobby Petrino's the interim? And then when does that become a lawsuit, right? A kid plays this entire season under Bobby Petrino or whoever the coach is at UCLA. And then when it all said and done, they're like, well, I need an extra year because I didn't get my opportunity because I couldn't transfer because of the transfer portal rules. The system is so broken and all the power is in the kids' hands. And look, they deserve to be compensated. They deserve the opportunity to transfer, but there also need to be some guidelines and rules and regulations in place. I mean, that goes back to when NIL first rolled out. It's like, let's roll it out to pay the players. Right. And then let's roll out this transfer portal with unlimited transfers at the same time. Like you couldn't have set up a worse nightmare. And now they're trying to shove the toothpaste back in the tube, and it's too late for that. We're too far gone.
And unless you're one of these 5-stars coming out just making a fat contract right out the gate, I'm sure coaches run into this before in high school where a lot of players get held back, right? Well, maybe it's in middle school or whatever, but that's to get a older, more mature player, beneficial team and the player in high school. So does JUCO become that? Does JUCO become a holdback? If it doesn't count, if it truly doesn't count, then can we get an extra year? Do you get more Joey Aguilars, where more of a elder statesman in the room, where you got more maturity, more experience? Does it become almost like a farm league, like in baseball? Like how does all this start to play out? Because what counts, what doesn't count? If the JUCO coach leaves, do they get a window? I don't know how that works.
Did you get 2 windows? Because JUCO doesn't count, and now, I can't transfer, so let me get 2 years for that one. Like, what are we doing?
Because if it truly doesn't count, I mean, it's not even like you have to redshirt. Like, could you just go play? I don't know. I'm a little confused once we start talking about all the JUCO stuff.
And that's the whole thing. The whole thing, you're blessed to be able to play college football, and yes, you work your tail off and you earn that opportunity, but not everybody gets that. And I joke about it when I say, well, who do I get to sue? Because I don't get to play college football. I didn't get an opportunity to play college football. And me not having the athletic ability to play college football is no different than Diego Pavia or Joey Aguilar not having the athletic ability to play D1 football out of high school. So you had to go through JUCO. You had to go through that journey. You had to go through that process. It's no different than guys going and playing at Wyoming or somewhere and then getting the opportunity in the SEC and kind of, going through this journey. Like it almost feels like Coach, we're washing all that away to say, well, it doesn't count unless you're playing in the SEC.
That'll be the next one.
Yeah. Or even Division III, right? Like newsflash, there's not a bunch of big checks being handed out here at Division III college football. So who knows how far this thing's all going to go. So I guess back to the original question, the more you can help teams with retention, I guess I'm for it. We'll see if it holds up to the courts. But I'm all for trying to help the teams retain all the players that they can and discourage transferring. Transferring is it just bugs me that it's become a money ploy too. Because it should be something that can truly benefit a kid when a fit truly is wrong. It shouldn't be something abused.
Well, think about how much time, effort, and even money go into recruiting some of these kids, whether it be, especially out of high school, but that's more extensive. But even in the quick portal window, all that effort and time goes into that, and all that really buys you is a year. Really, I mean, it just seems like we're definitely we're not leaning in that direction right now.
Let me catch back up with the chat. We laughed in the back room saying we're only going an hour this morning. We're almost 20 minutes into it. We've not even started the topics. That's what happens when you guys drop good super chats with good information and you can drive the show and derail us and give us some good talking points. Joseph Ayers for 2 says, Dorothy, let's put some bacon on the stove. GBO, can we let's just shut the show down. Foul, me and you could be together within 20 minutes if we meet in the middle. Let's go get some biscuits and gravy, some bacon, some coffee.
I'm in.
Screw
let me
this.
finish this. You got 10 more minutes. I'll finish this cup of coffee, then we'll get out.
Applewood bacon, hickory smoke, thick cut, thin. What are we talking
All the bacon, Coach.
Dude, thin bacon hits different, right? It's almost like it's air. Ooh, it's almost like air.
So for breakfast, I prefer thin bacon, but like a burger, I want a thick.
But now we go in chewy or crispy bacon. You see what I'm saying?
I like them both. I like them both, to be honest. I'm a weirdo.
Tyler Harrison for 5 says, Dorothy, when do you think Tennessee will get a home night game, dark mode, or wear the new uniforms? Thank you for all the videos. Go Vols. They already announced when they're doing Smoky Gray, right? When is Smoky Gray? I think they've already announced it. But
an Oklahoma thing, or Oklahoma would probably be a blackout.
No, I think is it Vanderbilt or New Mexico State maybe for the Smoky Grays? I can't remember. I would imagine Oklahoma is going to be dark mode. Surely that'll be a night game. I don't know though.
Also, I mean, we're about to go on a run of away games here, so need to come out and make a statement while you can here at Neyland, especially this weekend.
Especially in recruiting, right? A lot of guys in town. Made a video on that.
Best running back in the country is going to be in town.
Yeah, when did I make that video? Yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. David Gabriel Georges. If you missed that, go back and give it a watch. Kind of ran through some of the guys that are going to be in town. Coach McGee's been a member for 37 months. Says, good morning, boys. Let's beat Arkansas and have a great weekend. Go Big Orange. Shout out Coach McGee. Bleed Orange, been a member for 42 months. That is a long time. What up, Boogie, Coach Jay, and Foul? Revenge takes place on the Hogs tomorrow. GBO, he also drops a $5 door fee and says, GBO, shout out Bleed Orange. We appreciate you. JP Carter drops a 50. Somebody said, cue up Ron Slay.
All I know is go Vols, because that's all I know. Go Vols.
The chat shot up 10 people between the time I read that and then. Can you imagine you open up Talking Balls on a Friday morning, you're still trying to wake up, and it's just Ron Slay screaming in your ear right out of the gate? That's what I'm here for.
That's how I'm trying to wake up every day. Give me
JP
some
Carter.
First thing.
$49.99 top donation of the night. Should have dropped 2 more pennies, would have been the top donation of the month, but we appreciate you. JP says, Dorothy, go Vols. I got the Vols winning by 3 scores. Shout out JP. We appreciate you, my man. Ron the Don drops a $10 super chat. Says, Dorothy, let's go. My coffee is hot, fresh out the pot, and I got a lot. Boogie, Coach Jay, and Foul Ming with the Bling Bling Friday morning show. Let's get hype and win the game and some bets. Well, I don't want to bury the lead too much. Spoiler alert, didn't have a Friday morning show last week. Maybe we should just erase the picks from a week before. The boys struggled. The boys struggled a couple of weeks ago, but we'll get into that in just a minute. But Ron mentions coffee. Got to mention Talkin VAWLS morning show brought to you by Grade A Grounds Coffee. You can go to gradeagrounds.com and get that delicious blueberry blend. B is for blueberry. Organized chaos. That's what Coach Jay likes to drink because that's the way he coaches defense. Organized chaos. Gradeagrounds.com. Use that promo code VAWLS, VAWLS at checkout. Going to save 20%. I have beat it into the ground, but the blueberry coffee is to die for. It is so much so that, Billy, if you're in the chat and you don't send me my blueberry coffee, I may be coming looking for you. I need more blueberry in my life, and so do you. Go check it out, gradeagrounds.com. I've told the story a million times. Local guy, East Tennessee guy, VFL, Tennessee alum. You can't set up a better relationship than Talkin VAWLS and gradeagrounds.com. So go check them out. The link's always in the description. It's also scrolling across the bottom. Use that promo code. They kick a little bit back our way, but more than anything, man, the relationship just makes sense. So go check them out. All right, I think we're caught up. We are caught up with the super chats. We appreciate the super chats and the door fees around here. It helps keep the lights on. Also, we're on that membership drive. We need more members of this channel to keep the bills paid, to keep the lights on around here. 35 memberships in a live stream. We give away free merch. That's the goal each and every time we are live. So it's down there in the chat. You can gift them. If you don't have a Power T beside your name, I hear that you're a Gator fan, you're an Arkansas fan, you can fix it, hit the join button, or gift them, and let's see if we can hit 35. Let's pull up a couple of talking points. I was looking for things to talk about. Again, the bye week, it means we're almost 14 days. Rocky Top talk, that's real close to sounding like something ugly. We're almost 2 weeks, without football. So last week, talked a lot about Mississippi State, talked about the defense, talked about the injuries, talked about getting healthy. This week, we still don't have a lot to talk about, but I saw this article and I thought it was good. I thought it had some good talking points for me and the boys this morning. So Tennessee versus Arkansas, 4 things to watch in this game. Let's start with number 1. Will David Sanders start? And Fowl, you were kind of on this thing early. David Sanders is hurt. We're talking about, all right, what do we do? Is it going to be Bennett Warren? And you talk about, hey, let's shuffle. Let's send, maybe we put Jesse Perry on the outside and we move everybody around. And it was week after week after week after week. We're waiting. Game's on the line, final drive. Here comes Big Dave Sanders. Fowl, you're the coach. You're Coach Ellerby. What are you doing with this offensive line against Arkansas?
Well, if we can agree that week 1, going into Syracuse, this is your best lineup, then absolutely Dave should start. I wouldn't see why you wouldn't go back to that. You worked all summer long. That's the best you came up with. That should be your starting 5. If he was good enough to go on the last drive, you've had a week off, another week of practice, 2 weeks of practice, including the bye week. I don't see any reason why Dave wouldn't be starting there and move Jesse back down into what left, probably right guard. And move Mo back over, right?
Coach?
Yeah. I was unmuting myself, Boogie, as to not fall into my normal demise. But yeah, I'm moving him inside. I like that Sham has gotten even more and more experience. I think Sham's going to be a valuable part of the rotation moving forward throughout his years. Offensive linemen are really, really hard to keep healthy, and having a rotational guy who can come in is really, really good. But back to the starters, Jesse's a dude, right? We've learned that. Look at how well we protected everyone. And what's crazy is you can get better twofold here, right? Twofold. I'm going twofold. Mass hard this early. It's early out here in the West Coast, guys. Twofold, because David Sanders is probably a better offensive lineman than Perry. Even though Perry's a stud. So you can get better at that tackle position. But not only that, I think Perry's a better guard than he is a tackle, right? So you're going to get better not only running the ball from a tackle position and protecting the quarterback from a pass protection standpoint, but you're going to get better because David Sanders is really, really good at pulling, and we pull our tackles a lot from an offense standpoint. And you're going to get a better seal, a better work down to the second level game out of Perry than we're getting out of Sham. So I think it can help spring the run game even more and help protection even more. So I really like it, and I think that's why we knew before the season started what the best 5 were. And I think this will be it this week. We'll see.
One more point to add in there. Jesse and Sam, for that matter, have a lingering ankle issue. I think they're both healthy and ready to go, but maybe that not having Jesse out on the island, they may be easier on that ankle also.
Yeah, I saw where Sam, and I love this. This was in the war room this morning. I knew Sam got banged up. I knew Sam didn't practice last week, but he practiced this week leading up to the game. I love just that old school mentality. They said he went in the injury tent and was like, "Don't take my shoe off. Just freaking tape it up on the outside because I'm going right back in the game." I just love that
shoe off. It's a mess.
It's over.
You take that shoe off. It's over. It's gonna swell
it's like blowing your nose, right? It's like blowing your nose in a fight. Don't blow your nose. It's the hardest thing to do. To do. But I love that mindset of Sam, don't touch it. Just tape it and let's freaking go play ball. And he went right back in the game. For me, I agree with everything you guys are saying. in a weird way, I hate it for Sham. Like, I want the best 5 guys on the field. Sham got an opportunity, and he made the most of that opportunity. And I think Sham's played good football. But like Fowl said, if you're starting 5 against Syracuse is going to have Dave Sanders in it, then that's what we need to roll out there against Arkansas. I think Josh Heupel, who's usually pretty dang good talking with the media, let the cat out of the bag. See the quote on the screen, guys? David's cleared to play. I mean, he'll be a part of what we do. Man, I'm not ready to say anything on that, but David's going to play. We're going to need all those. Like, that is a spoiler alert if I've ever seen a spoiler alert. That's not a stereotypical Josh Heupel comment. That is burying the lead that Dave's probably going to be starting on Saturday.
Well, how different would this conversation be if he hadn't came in for that last drive? Right, we could have went back and forth for 2 weeks saying, well, is he this, is he that? Yes, he's cleared, but what does that mean? You know, things like that. Once he came in and played well, I think the conversation's kind of over at that point.
Yep. Let me hit a couple of these real quick. Black Metal Banjo gifted 5 Talkin VAWLS memberships. That ain't cheap. That's like the equivalent of a $25 super chat. So shout out Banjo. We appreciate you. And then on top of that, Sam Schrock also joined the channel. Welcome to the party, Sam. We appreciate that support. It's only $1. Got $1? If you got $1, we need $1. So hit that join button down below. 29 memberships away from giving away some free merch. Billy Todd for 2 says, Dorothy, let's roast some hogs this weekend. Shout out, Billy. We appreciate those door fees around here. Let's roll down. Let's see what talking point number 2 is. How will the Arkansas defense change? And this is something that we've kind of talked about throughout the course of the week, right? Sam Pittman fired. Petrino takes over, gets rid of 3 of his defensive line or defensive coaches, his co-defensive coordinators, defensive line coach. We talked about this on Monday or on Wednesday night, so not a whole lot to add here. I don't think this defense changes much at all. I don't think this defense gets better. I think the only way they stop Tennessee is if Tennessee stops themselves. We may have some new listeners in the audience, Coach. What are your thoughts on what this defense is going to look like in Neyland Stadium tomorrow afternoon? And why he's doing that, Foul, tell them where they can get a You're Muted shirt. Where can they go get
over
a
to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS and find a You're Muted shirt with the beautiful emoji of Coach Jay on the front. You'll be ready. And
I mean, look at it. Look at it. Show him the shirt, Coach. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. He's even got it on. Maybe we need to start wearing them, Foul. Maybe you and I need to wear that shirt so he can see it.
Or I'll just hang one on the wall back here. I'll just hang one on the wall so it's always on his mind.
As we know, Mrs. Coach Jay has the Razorback version of every shirt, so she often wears it and will point at the shirt when she wants me to be quiet. So it does work. It does work. Yeah. Hey, like I said Wednesday night, I think it's just going to be, they're going to simplify things, right? They're not going to completely install a new defense. They might install, a normal week's packages, right? But these are going to be simplified packages. It's going to be about making things easier on the athletes and allow them to move a little more freely, dumb down the assignments a little, less switches and man zone, things like that. So they're going to simplify things. They're going to try to keep things in front of them. They're going to try to make our offense march all the way down the field and take time and hope to beat us out in a true shootout.
Let me hit this real quick. Randall Griffin joined the channel. Shout out, Randall. We appreciate you. We're now 28 members away from giving away some free merchandise. And then Randall commented, said, new Vol fan and member went to the UAB game and got hooked. GBO. Well, shout out, Randall. Glad to have you a part of Vol Nation. Also glad to have you as a part of the Talkin VAWLS family, man. We're no different than you, just diehard, passionate Tennessee fans. Come hang out with us. We do live streams throughout the course of the week, Wednesday night, Monday morning, Friday morning. Also, we do a post-game show. So if you're a new Vol fan and you don't have friends that are Vol fans, but you watch the game and you're excited or you're depressed, it could go one of 2 ways, and you want to talk about it, we go live within a matter of minutes after each and every game. So come hang out with us right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. Bleed Orange for 2 says smash the thumbs up. That's easy, man. We ask you, we're on this membership drive. You can help the channel by hitting the thumbs up right down there below. Hit that thumbs up. We would appreciate it. Shout out Bleed Orange. Tyler for 5, almost 200 watching. and only 70 thumbs up. Shaking my head. Come on, Vol fans. We can do better for Boogie. Let's go, Vols. Tyler's just sucking up to me because we're about to go head-to-head in the Patreon Dynasty, and he knows what is awaiting him. So he's trying to be kind, so maybe I'll choose some clock and not run it up too bad. Marcus Rush for 5. Dorothy smoking ribs tomorrow to contribute to our hog consumption. Beat the hogs tomorrow. GBO, Marcus, that sounds delicious. I got a rack of ribs in the freezer. Maybe I should break them out. Sam Schrock for 5. Wendell Moy is now up to 24 games without giving up a sack. No one will stop our offense with how good our O-line is except for us. Man, I didn't even think about that.
Dude. But
that was something that I hyped up when we got him, but haven't really talked about it much since then.
Well,
just by chance, Boogie, I just by some weird chance, I was randomly scrolling through videos and I saw a reaction video to Nico beating UCLA. And this guy in this reaction video was crapping. He was watching that video and then he watched a Tennessee video next against Mississippi State. He was like watching a couple in a row, like tight games. And he started crapping on Wendell Moy, dude. I was so mad, and it was like nothing to be crapping on him for. So I can't remember his name. I wish I could call him out by name, but that guy was an idiot. Sorry.
Yeah, what are you crapping on him for?
Yeah,
it was like a block play where you punch and work your way down to the second level, but there was no backer in the second level because he was out of position. So yeah, it was just dumb.
Out of one play.
I'm gonna go find that guy and post it and tag you in it, and we can all laugh at him on Twitter or whatever, Facebook
like
or
we're rallying up the boys and you go fight a bunch of people.
You twit face. There you go. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook.
Let's go get that biscuits and gravy that me and Fowl were talking about. Then we'll load up like we're in high school in the back of the truck, fire up some ACDC, and go throw down.
Buddy.
Yeah, they probably got a couple gallons left over in at Mississippi State. Just saying.
Oh man!
About 2 weeks.
Just the leftovers that was used. They just put it. They put it in the big trash can. Okay.
Anyway, I digress.
Wait, let me hit this real quick though. Straw Hat Ball says, "What happened to Friday with Hubs? It's not a every week thing." Look, Brent said, "Anytime you guys want me, hit me up. I'm down to come on and talk." I don't want Brent to have to come on here every single Friday. Brent is a busy guy. He does a radio spot in Nashville, I think, before our morning show. And it's like he said it's easy to jump on. Probably going to reach out to him this week and see if he wants to come on before the Alabama game. That's kind of what me and Coach had in our minds. So be looking for that Friday morning with Hubs. Also a little change. Kaner's going to be out Monday. I think Fowl is going to probably move to Monday this week. Me and Coach will do Friday. Regular Wednesday show, me, Scoops, Dauber. Has anybody seen the X Factor? I think he's been the Y Factor. I've not seen him. Fowl, you were going to add something there. Go ahead.
Just going back to our point there about the defense, you're obviously not going to reinvent the wheel in a week, right? But how much do they go back to last year's and look at the formations and things they ran against us last year on defense and held us to 17 points? I wonder if you could just go right back. I mean, if you're Josh Heupel or Tim Banks, do you just go back and look exactly what they used against you last year? Obviously, you got a different roster, different quarterback, things like that. But how much you just lean right back into that? If it worked, it worked.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Let me hit these and we'll move on to the next point. Whoa, All Vol became a member of the channel. Shout out Whoa, All Vol, and also Tombstone Repossession Group join the channel as well. That's a couple of new members. We're 27 away, guys. You can gift them. If you don't have a Power T beside your name, hit that join button down below. Put on more steam. That's what allows us to do these Friday morning shows, Monday morning shows, videos every day is those memberships. The next point, big day potential for the Tennessee offense. You know, this to me is not even 4 things to watch for. This is 4 things to be expected. Tennessee's offense is only going to fail if they shoot themselves in the foot. Everybody's talking about Tennessee's defense and how bad it is. Arkansas's defense is worse in every category outside of passing defense, and that's like a yard difference between the two. Their defense is not very good. A big difference is they don't get after the quarterback. They don't have the sacks Tennessee has. They don't have the tackles for loss Tennessee has. I think Tennessee is going to feast. Do they run the football? Do they throw the football? Can they not run the football? I think it's by design. It's by choice. They can do whatever they want to do. I don't want to see a shootout. against Arkansas, but Tennessee can win a shootout. This Tennessee offense is going to score 40 plus, in my opinion. Foul.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'd rather not see a shootout. I'd rather not go into a third overtime. But I think if it does come down to that, I'll definitely lean Tennessee. Is it going to be like last week where we start talking about, can we just go out and handle business? I mean, can the better team just go out and punch the other team in the mouth and take advantage? I don't see a scenario where Tennessee's behind the 8 ball here. I don't. We're better on defense. We're better on offense. I think we're going to carve up their defense. I think Joey's going to have a day. So I just don't see. I think we're just making too much of it. I really do. I don't see that their defense stopping Tennessee. I don't. It's kind of like one of those things. Show your work. It's like where's that at? Where have they shown anything that's potentially going to stop us on offense?
Foul from like a passing attack after a bye week. Would you worry more about what? The offensive line being off, Joey being a little cold, or the receivers perhaps dropping the ball too much after a break? What would be your biggest concern?
No, just normally I would be worried about my quarterback being cold just from not being live action for 2 weeks. But in this particular scenario, I have no doubts with Joey because he's just so ice cold anyway, like in a positive way. Like I don't think he gets too up, too down, and he's just going to go right back to business. I would like to see him dial in just a little bit. He's been phenomenal, but if anything, he's been a little high, thrown just a little high, and that's led to some. I won't say the turnovers have all been his fault, but that has contributed. I think the offensive line should be juiced. They should be the healthiest they've been, minus a couple lingering ankles, but that's just going to happen throughout the season. So I think they should be juiced back to the lineup, and I hope the receivers have not left the jugs machine for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I mean,
Boogie, go ahead.
That's it.
I was going to say, Boogie, you heard it. Foul said Joey is at fault for the interceptions. Clip it, post it.
Do you want me to yell at him? I can yell at him if you want me to.
I
mean, honestly, why he was saying that, I wanted to just catch the football.
I know. I was like,
football.
Boogie's probably mad over here.
No, just catch football. Like it is. But hey, coach, who says
I
this?
deliberately clip both plays. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Who says this all the time? 2 things can be true, Boogie.
Two things can be true.
Yeah.
But let's dial in the accuracy, but catch the freaking football, Miles. Just catch the football, Miles. That's it. You notice Foul followed up the I want to say shot, but it wasn't really a shot at Joey with telling the receivers to get on the jugs machines. 2 things can be true, fellas. 2 things can be true. You asked me that question. I'm saying I'm not worried about anything. I'm not worried about this offense at all. I'm not even really worried. I shouldn't say this. I'm not too worried about the defense. What I'm worried about the defense's ability to stop Talon Green. And the next and final point here on this article, can Tennessee stop the run? Yes, they can stop the run if you're turning around and handing it to Mike Washington. Yes, they can stop the run if you turn around and hand it to Braylon Russell. Can they stop Talon Green? That's it for me, guys. I'm not stressed about their wide receivers. I know Braylon Russell's a big back, and Tennessee has struggled tackling this year. They got to be better. I get that. I understand that. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about them losing this game because of Arkansas's running backs. It all comes down to stopping Talon Green. I'm not even that worried about him throwing the football. I'm worried about him making plays with his legs. That is my only concern from just coming out here and saying, I got no worries. Tennessee's just going to go out and dominate Arkansas.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the kid from Mississippi State was about as hard as a kid you can try to tackle anyways. Fluff. If you watch that Mississippi State versus Texas A&M game, then you would know Fluff kind of ran all over them too, and then got injured and had to be sadly carted off the field. So I wish Fluff a speedy recovery because that guy's a football player, man, and I love football players. But a tough kid to bring down, and doesn't mean I forgive the tackling, as you know, Boogie. It's form is everything to me. Tackling form is something that I think I stake my whole career on being a center point of what I teach. But yeah, I think as long as we've been hitting a little bit, not too much, but I would like to have seen just one day of a little bit of pop from my linebackers and D-line in practice. I'm sure they got it. And I see the chat. Who is this? James. Shout out to James. Good comment on Boo spying their quarterback. I think you can spy Talon in several different ways. I think he's a good enough quarterback. A lot of people you'll hear shout about, the mic needs to spy the quarterback. Yeah, sometimes, but the truth is, based on the offensive set, the defensive set you're in, coordinators, what we'll do is we'll have certain triggers, right? A certain spy call, and that will indicate to whoever we call that into pre-snap that we want that player to spy the quarterback. Because if you keep it at one person, say the mic, a whole game, a good quarterback like Green is going to pick up on that and murder you over it. So you got to really watch that. But I think you can use Boo effectively a lot. Murray, I think you can use Spillman. I don't know that I'd use T-Lander to do the spy, but I'd use Arian and Spillman certainly.
It's from a sheer speed point of view, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's where I'm with you, Boogie. I'm not worried about the run game just straight up out the gate, but do you start having issues where if you're trying to spy Talon or you're trying to adjust to his run game or be aware of his run game, now do you open up holes or leave things on the backside, things like that? That's the only time I would really worry about opening up some run lanes. But this defensive line is as healthy as it's been. This is the first time we're really going to have all our tools in the shed to say. So I don't think, just from a straight up roster standpoint, their O-line versus our D-line, I think we win that battle. It's just a matter of can they dial up some, not necessarily trick plays, but just maybe some misdirection, just to like, hey, look over here and run some backside counters and things like that. And then what we've talked all week, how big a influence can Dom make on the edge? Does that start to really help with this run game?
Yeah,
it'll be that's a. I agree. Like we've already talked about it. Should I say the same thing I said Wednesday?
One thing we haven't talked about is, just like last year we talked about Green's legs. This year we're going to talk about Green's legs because he's unique in that way. But he also can throw the ball. So we saw that last year. And it's kind of like it's going to be a pick your poison thing, but our corners have played exceptional. So I'm not as worried about this defense as maybe everyone else is.
Green has, Coach, your favorite stat, QBR, the true real QBR, right? Fourth best in the country, 88.1. So even though I sell him short and say I'm not worried about him beating us with his arm, he grades out pretty dang high.
Yeah, that QBR, it's going to show me when you have holes in your game, right? Like you can throw for 500 yards in a game because a receiver took a ball 80 yards, a halfback took a, screen past 70, and yards can build that way. But the QBR is going to tell me if you have holes in your game, if you're throwing picks, if you're having too many missed high balls, if you're having too many drops. It's going to tell you everything you need to know about that offense in that stat. And that's why I like that stat so much, because if there's holes in your QBR, there's holes in your game. And as a defensive coordinator, all I got to do is find them.
Let me hit one more real quick. Tyler Harrison for 10 says, I'm free today till 4 and all day Saturday, just not during the game, and all day Sunday. So just let me know when you are ready to take your first L of the season. Go Vols. Tyler, I hit you up on the Discord. We may be able to get it in today, but I'll yell at you and see once we wrap up the stream. Devontae Coleman for 2 says, late fee. What's up, Devontae? Appreciate the $2 super chat. Appreciate the door fee. The late fee. That's all right. Better late than never. We're 45 minutes into this thing. We got a little clip from Josh Pate I want to watch. We're going to talk a little gambling with the boys. They struggled last week. We're going to talk about it. Coach and Fowl still have to make their predictions, but also we talk about becoming a member of the channel, hitting the join button, how that helps the channel. There's another way you can help support this channel. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. You're going to find all kinds of designs, including this one. You guys got to get ready for the Bama game. This shirt says, I hate the whole state of Alabama. I mean, I don't think there's a better way You can let an Alabama family you can let a family know that, they all kind of blend together there. But I hate the whole state of Alabama. If that's not offensive enough, you can go grab a Buck Fama shirt. We got a Beat Bama shirt, whatever you want. Bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. If we get 35 new members on this stream, I will let somebody pick any shirt they want off the website and we'll ship it out. I forget where we're at. Where are we? 27. We need 27 members to get that done. You can gift them. If you don't have a Power T beside your name, fix that. Hit the join button. We would greatly appreciate it. But again, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS for all of your Talkin VAWLS merchandise. Let's see. Oh, retro. Yeah, I beat Gandalf. He was ranked number 2, I think. I was ranked number 5. I beat him. Now he's ranked number 4, and I'm ranked number 5. So awesome. Love the game. So much fun. Having a blast with that game, let me tell you. Let's go listen to Josh Pate. And the reason I had this queued up and wanted to talk about it, the title of the video is upset alerts around the country. Fowler, are we on upset alert? Like, are you sitting here on upset alert, or do you have confidence going into this game? And maybe we had this conversation against Mississippi State and we all laughed about it, said I'm not worried about it, and then we went to overtime.
I'm confident, man. I just think that Mississippi State's defense was better than Arkansas's defense by a large margin. I think that's the true leaning point. It's just a matter of how quickly Tennessee's defense stands up. I don't think we're going to have the same kind of shootout as you do with Mississippi State. I'm pretty confident rolling into this one. Anytime you go against, and it is what it is. Taylor Green's a Heisman level quarterback in the right squad, and anytime you face an athlete like that, there is potential for something to happen. And then you look back at last year, we all shrugged them off, and then you see what happened. So it's the SEC. Anybody can be anybody from week to week, but if you just look at what we have to go on, roster versus roster, I just don't see it. I don't think there's an upset this week. Not especially not at home.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you. Thinking back to last year too, like they were just it was one of those games where it's like they were making every play, right? Like every little play you can make, they were making it. I think it's what made people nervous in that Mississippi State game when that guy stayed barely in bounds and reached in for the touchdown. Those are the kind of plays you need to pull off a big upset. Arkansas was making those plays last year. I still think even last year we played them 10 times, probably to beat them 8 out of 10 last year, to be honest. I think this year it's probably more like 9 out of 10, or maybe let's make that 19 out of 20, something more to that tune. And at Neyland, probably, 49 out of 50, right? So it's going to take a special effort out of Arkansas. We're just better top to bottom. We got the lads in the pads, and we should be able to take care of business.
I think a lot of it's going to come down to your start and how you start off. I mean, if you jump on this team early and fast, I think it can get out of hand quick. If you leave a team like this hanging around, they're capable of scoring points. So you just don't want to come down to that's where the Mississippi State things happen. That's where the Arkansas things happened last year. If you leave that window open where you're just kind of trudging along, it's like, we're going to win, but let's just take our time. That's when you leave some talented players in the ball game, and that's where things could go south. So we can't have the muffs. We can't have a turnover. We can't have, we just come out fast, and I think Tennessee will roll right on them.
Especially in Neyland. You start fast in Neyland. That place is going to be loud. It's going to be electric. And then I keep going back to it, but it's true, man. I just see these players at Arkansas looking for a reason to quit, right? It's like, our coach was fired. What if you're on that defensive line? Your coordinator and your position coach were fired. It's like, do I even want to be here? Do I even respect Petrino? Do I even care? Like, do I like the guy that he promoted from within? Am I looking at my boys just looking for a reason to pack it in and quit?
You bring up a good point too, because it's like a lot of football is about culture, and we throw that word around, but here's a good practical application for culture, guys. It's what's that team's belief? How do they feel? How do they think? How do they practice? How do they move in practicality is all part of your culture. What kind of culture is Bobby Petrino inspiring in this team in such a short amount of time? And if you don't think someone can, Sora brings up a good point. Look at Neuheisel, right? From a coach a son of a coach who coached at UCLA. played at UCLA. Like, those players wanted to win for that man. You know what I mean? They cared to win for him. And you saw it. That team that looked terrible played their tail off for Neuheisel because they believed in what he could bring as a culture. So yeah, I don't know that exists in Arkansas with Petrino like it did with Neuheisel. I think that's kind of a special situation. That'd be like if what's the defensive end, the former defensive end on our staff right now? Is it
Robert Ayers?
Robert Ayers were to somehow become the interim coach. Like, it'd
You're
be
gonna rally
ingrained
to
there.
that guy.
Yeah, you're gonna rally to that guy, and that's kind of my point. Is I'm not sure that Petrino inspires that. I mean, from an X's and O's standpoint, he certainly does, but I don't know about from a just a overall culture.
I think that's a big thing, though, is we don't know. Like, we don't know. And that's why,
Right. Yeah.
like,
Yeah, that's fair.
rewind before Sam Pittman was fired, I was saying, I don't want Sam Pittman to get fired because I don't know how this team will respond to him getting fired, right? I can sit here and say, well, they may not respect Petrino. They may not rally to Petrino. They may have been sick and tired of Sam Pittman and ready for a change. We don't know, Fal. We have no idea.
Right. And that's where you don't let this game become that. Like, don't let this game become the cornerstone. It's early for his culture and the team he's trying to build. I mean, Tennessee's the brand. Tennessee's a big enough game to where if you somehow pull this one out, now you can rally behind that. Now it becomes a whole thing. And which brings my question is, like, is this a bigger game for Tennessee or is this a bigger game for Arkansas, in your opinion?
I think it's a bigger game for Tennessee because if you lose this game, your shots of making the playoff are zero room for error. You have zero room for error if you lose this game. Arkansas, on the other hand, I think you're playing with house money because you've already fired your head coach. It probably means more to Petrino because if he wants to win that job, and he's already selling himself to boosters, the money guys, he's like, I'm the guy for the job, right, Coach? He wants that job, but overall, big picture, bigger game for Tennessee. You lose this game, you can't lose the rest of the way. And you're going on the road to Alabama and Florida, by the way, in the back half. You got Oklahoma coming to town. Tennessee needs to win this game.
Agreed.
All right, are we on upset alert? Let's take a listen to what Josh Pate had to say as he's talking about it. 10 out of 10. We're getting an ad as soon as I hit play. Let's see.
Arkansas, led by Bobby Petrino, is going into Neyland Stadium. What a fever dream of a sentence. Tennessee's favored by 12.5. I've already got some really, really good ideas for what the celebration graphic could be, what the phrase on the celebration graphic could be if Arkansas wins this thing. I was talking about it with our buddies over at Next Round Live earlier this morning. Can you imagine Bobby Petrino and the boys ride into Neyland? They pull the outright upset, and then Arkansas football on the Twitter account just leans fully into the joke of the thing. 2 words: road rash.
I'm just going to let that sit. No reaction from the boys. We're just ignoring it. Something I do want to mention, though, is this right here. Like, I get it, Sam Pittman, what he did in 24, what his body of work looked like. Maybe you're looking for a reason to fire him. At Ole Miss. Ole Miss is one of the top teams in the country. What are they ranked inside the top 5 right now? At Ole Miss, 41-35. That's a shootout that Arkansas very much had an opportunity to win. That's what scares me when I talk. I don't want this game to be a shootout. This defense needs to show up. Alabama A&M, Butch Jones at Arkansas State could not care less. At Memphis, you lost, whatever. Notre Dame trounced you. This game right here, Foul, this game right here scares me because that tells me when we talk about the SEC and when we talk about any week, anybody can win a game. Arkansas has the capability to come in Neyland Stadium and go toe-to-toe with I don't think it happens, but when we're talking about spoiler alert, upset alert, it can happen.
Well, that's what I talk about. Like, that they're capable of scoring points. You just can't let them hang around and let that be a possibility. As much as we talk about this offense coming out to a fast start, I think it's more going to be, can this defense come out hot? Can you come out, get a couple 3-and-outs, and let this offense go up 21 points? Can you come out and dominate early, and then that'll set the precedent. Like, if you I'm telling you, if you come out slow, lackadaisical, which I don't think will happen at home, but if you come out slow out of the gates and let this team go up a score on you or just hang around with you within 2 or 3 points, that's where this team can score. They have talent to score. I think it's going to come down to the Tennessee defense, which is markedly better than the Arkansas defense. So if you can just come out and do what you should be able to do, if you can just come out, have a couple stops early, let this thing start rolling and get out of hand. I think the Tennessee defense is the absolute key in this game.
Let's hear more, Coach, and then you can chime in here. Let's hear more from Josh Pate. And then by the way, Ty said that Josh Pate put Tennessee on upset alert against Mississippi State, and we're laughing about that. We went to overtime. They should have been on upset alert. That game went to overtime. You could have lost that game. So I wouldn't necessarily go after Josh Pate for that one. He does say a lot of things. I don't know. I love Josh Pate. I think Josh Pate's great, but a lot of times he talks out of both sides of his mouth, and that's okay, because sometimes when you do that, you're creating talking points and letting the chat or the comment section kind of take that narrative however they want to take it. I'm a fan.
They just ride out of there. Unbelievable. Cinema, theater. To do it, something wild is going to have to happen, but it may be possible because Arkansas has got a top 20 passing offense. Tennessee pass defense in the 100s. So what we're thinking there is, I'm pretty sure Tennessee's going to get theirs. They're off a bye. They're at home. They're going to get theirs. Arkansas could as well. How often do we love betting on interim coaches on this show? Because you never know what portion of a locker room or an organization is galvanized because status quo has been broken. You just never know. There's wild variance in each quarterback. Talon Green could blow up or he could implode. I'm not quite sure Joey Aguilar is going to implode, but he could have a C. He could have a C game.
What's a C game for Joey, Coach? Like, I love that he wanted to say either quarterback could implode, and then he's like, I just don't see that happening with Joey Aguilar. I don't like, if I had to bet money, I do not see Joey Aguilar imploding, but I think a C game from Joey's good enough to win this game, Coach. I think he's good enough to win.
It could be. What I don't want to see is that C game being the average of the whole game, and that middle 8 was bad, because if we, for some reason, we couldn't stop Arkansas's offense and he has a bad quarter, that could be disastrous if it turns into a big shootout. But I still think a C game looks good. I think the offense is humming right now, so I'm not too worried about it overall. And why I'm chiming in too, I mean, didn't Kentucky come within 7 points of Ole Miss too, if I'm not mistaken?
It's closer than it should have been, for sure.
Yeah, I guess, and I don't know, watching that Ole Miss game, if I'm remembering it right, I think it was kind of like, well, whenever Arkansas scored, Ole Miss would score twice type thing. And, you know how you have those games that are close, but they never felt like you were in danger type games? I kind of feel like that's how those games were. But
yeah, at Kentucky, 30-23, and then LSU at home, 24-19. Arkansas at home, 41-35 for Ole Miss.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, a C game out of Joey, am I worried? Maybe a little, but only with an A+ game out of the Arkansas offense. Both things would have to happen.
Well, only thing, I don't want to give this Arkansas offense extra possessions, and I don't want to give them the opportunity to leave their defense off the field.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing, because that's obviously their weak point. So let's keep that Arkansas defense on the field, and the longer we drag out some drives, I think we're going to absolutely eat later in the game.
I love when the chat brings up good points, and then I read them, and then somebody counters that point, and I read it. I'm like, oh, I'm just letting the chat have their own edition of Talkin VAWLS. Brent says Joey had a C game against Mississippi State, and I was like, yeah, that's fair, and we still won that game in overtime. And then Aaron says, does Joey have a C game if the receiver doesn't tip the ball up? If Miles Kitselman catches the ball, does Joey have a C game? If Chris Brazel hauls in that touchdown, I don't think Joey has a C game there. I think it's more like a B+, maybe even an A- game for Joey if the receivers and the tight ends do their job in that game. I think that's a very fair point.
You can add 100 yards or right at 100 yards and 2 touchdowns to that game if you count the phantom PI and the dropped pass over the middle. So and that drastically changes not only that game's stats but his season stats too.
And that's not even including the tips that Miles had that led to picks, right?
I just kind of give those as a wash. That's just, I mean, to this point, that's just kind of, it's part of it. It's part of it.
At the very least, should have gone down as incompletions instead of interceptions, turnovers, and whereas the big ones that stand out, the PI, the drop pass by Brazel, those are touchdowns. Like those are touchdowns.
Right. How many of these things can we say you got to catch that ball and also put it in a safer spot? Like both things, we're going to go back to it because coach's words, but both things can be true.
Yep, and that's why I love that Miles and Joey both said the same thing, right? Joey said, right. I got to throw it better, and Miles said, I got to catch it.
We've seen his A game before. If he plays his A game, they're going to win. They may cover. I'm going to put a 7 on this game. I think it's going to be low-key way more competitive than America is ready to admit. I don't think most of America even knows this game's happening. I think there are 4 or 5 SEC games bigger than this one this week, and no one's paying attention to this game except us. And if my neck wasn't strained, I would pat myself on the back right now. Lastly, another one.
I don't think we're on upset alert. I think the balls roll, boys. O'Brady for 5 says balls by Fitty. Shout out O'Brady. We appreciate the super chat, my man. Robert Tuck says, what is the Grade A Grounds thing to use? Go to gradeagrounds.com, promo code VAWLS, VAWLS. You're going to save 20%. Grab that blueberry. I'm telling you. But if you like just regular coffee, the Organized Chaos is good as well. Put on more steam. We need 27 memberships. We're trying, begging, pleading to give away some free merchandise. Hit the join button. If you don't have a power T beside your name, hit the join button. It's $1. $1. Got a dollar? Got a dollar? If you got a dollar, we need a dollar. Jump in there, hit that join button. We would appreciate it. If you got $25, gift 5 Talkin VAWLS memberships. See if we can get there. Put on some more steam. Let's talk a little gambling. Why not talk a little gambling? Maybe I should put out an ad. Maybe I should put out an ad. We need some actual gambling experts around here because the boys struggled a week ago. The boys combined went 1-5, guys. 1-5. Coach Jay with a big goose egg, 0-3. He had USC minus 6.5 against Illinois. It was a close one, Coach. 34-32. He had BYU minus 6.5 against Colorado. 24-21. Another L for Coach. Baylor minus 20 against Oklahoma State. 45-27. An L for Coach Jay.
That weekend, I could not pick a booger either. Like it was worse than what you just read because normally it's what we do is not reflective of my overall record. But I'll tell you that Saturday, man, I couldn't pick a booger. I couldn't hit water if I fell out of a boat. But what they don't know, Fal, is we both went like 10-0 last weekend.
Yeah,
like the weekend after this, we were both undefeated.
That's what happened. Oh, that's
yeah,
what
I
happened.
only missed. We had UCLA on the money line. We had all kinds of picks.
You know what's killing me? You freaking got somebody in the chat that's saying I'm going to give memberships and give Boogie money if the boys hit, and y'all have gone to straight dog crap ever since then. That's why I have to beg people to become members of the channel because I can't pay my freaking mortgage because you guys suck at gambling. Let me guess, Val. Hold on. You got excuses too because you went 1-2. You got Ole Miss minus 1.5 against LSU. They won that game straight up. Texas A&M minus 6.5. Man, you were close to that one. 16-10. They screwed you there. Missouri minus 44.5. 42-6. Another L. The boys went 1-5. Val, do you have your excuses lined up like Coach does?
I'm not making any excuses other than I literally tied my losses for the entire season on 1 week.
You did.
I think I only had 2 losses all season, and they got me on half a point. Come on. Anyway, we're gonna bounce back, Coach. We got this.
Fal Ming is up 2 through 6 weeks. So, Coach, give us the rundown. What are your picks for this week? And you guys in the chat, take the opposite. You'll make some money.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm going to take the GOAT, the greatest coach of all time, South Florida. Well, sorry, second best coach, Alex Golesh. +1, winning a tough one at North Texas. Don't be fooled, North Texas. That'd be an interesting game. Give me the Bulls in that one.
What was the line on that one?
+1. So basically, just
it's a pick 'em.
Yeah, it's
Gotcha.
basically. I mean, I guess they could lose by 1 and it'd be a push. Moving on though, give me Oregon -7 against Indiana. I mean, I just in Otsoon, give me the Ducks. They're going to take care of business in that one. I think Indiana's good for Indiana. I think they're better than last year's iteration of Indiana. I just think Oregon's going to take care of business there. And I'm going to double down on Dion's demise, Boogie. Give me Iowa State rebounding after a tough loss against a feisty Cincinnati team, -2.5 over the Buffs.
Wait, who did you have in that?
Iowa State -2.5
Iowa State.
over Colorado.
All right, so you got USF +1, Oregon -7 against Indiana, Iowa State -2.5 versus Colorado. Foul me. What are the picks this week?
Any guess what conference I'm going to?
I like that you roll with something we know around here. You go to the SEC, which I'm here for.
Here we go. So let's start right where we left off. I'm at Alabama at Missouri. Mizzou's been hot. They're almost to the point where everybody's starting to talk about them. Let's face it, they haven't played anybody. Let's cut to the chase. That's a paper tiger. So they've not played anybody the caliber of Alabama. They're catching Ty Simpson when it seems to be playing his best ball, and the spread's only 2.5 here. So give me Alabama -2.5. I know it's at Mizzou, but is that really that big of an environment? Come on, what are we talking here? So give me Bama -2.5. Now we got Washington State at Ole Miss. This one could catch me. We'll see how it goes. Washington State give up 59 points to North Texas and Washington, and we know Ole Miss is much better than that. I worry about the Ole Miss defense possibly giving up enough points to like mess up my spread here, but they're better than both those teams. Meanwhile, Ole Miss is averaging 40.6 points per game, something like that, and it's at the Grove. So give me Ole Miss plus 31.5. Ole Miss plus. Yeah.
Minus.
Right. Yeah.
Damn, I thought I screwed up for a second.
No, you're right. I just wrote the plus in my notes here. That's clearly, if you ever find that the other one,
take it, hammer it.
I do this every week, guys. You should be used to this, man. Now, hammer that. Let's go back. Let's go to the Red River, Oklahoma at Texas. I think that we're in Dallas, so it's that. It feels like a Texas home game, but it really is neutral. It's as close as they can get there. I feel like this game's going to be a pick 'em. I think it's going to come down to a defensive slugfest. Both teams have Texas has struggled on offense all year long. They've been almost non-existent until Sam Houston rolls in, and this isn't Sam Houston. Oklahoma, I think, has the best defense in the country. As far as now, no John Mateer, so we'll see what happens there. But I don't think Texas can put up any points on this Oklahoma defense. I just don't. So give me Oklahoma -2.5. We're right here -2.5. I just don't have any faith in that Texas offense. We'll see what Manning wants to do in the Red River rivalry if he wants to make a name for himself right here, but I just don't see it. So give me Oklahoma -2.5.
All right, so there it is. You guys can use your discernment against the boys here. Again, they went 1-5 last week. This week, I feel it. Y'all going to go undefeated this week. Coach got USF +1 against North Texas, Oregon -7 against Indiana, Iowa State -2.5. Foul me's got Alabama -2.5, Ole Miss -31.5. If you find that plus 31.5, bet the life savings on it. I will give you the advice. Hammer that one. Drive it home. Oklahoma -2.5 against Texas. But the big game, the game that we have all eyes on, dude, I'm so glad we have football to talk about. I'm ready tomorrow, 4:15, Tennessee and Arkansas, the Vols favorite, almost a 2-touchdown favorite. The ESPN, FPI, all about the Vols. Maybe Josh Pate isn't, but all the data, all the analytics. Vegas is riding with the Vols. I gave my score prediction on the Wednesday night show. I've got, what did I have? 42-27 or 45 27 Tennessee. I think Arkansas is going to score some points, but I think Tennessee's defense gets some stops. I don't think Arkansas can stop Tennessee. The only way Tennessee stops them is if Tennessee stops themselves. That's the only way they don't score. Fowl, kick us off here. Give us your little blurb of what you expect and give us your maybe keys to the game and score prediction.
Well, I mean, it's going to come down to this Tennessee defense versus Taylor Green. Can you contain him? Do we have to spy him? If we put a spy on him, who do we take away? You know, that kind of a thing. I think Tennessee's going to score early and often. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I don't see a shootout where it comes down to the wire. I think Tennessee will be in control the whole time, but I do think Arkansas will give up some points. I'm excited to see this defensive line work. I'm excited to see what a healthy, full power defensive line, and maybe I could be totally wrong on my points here. Maybe they'll reflect a different defense going forward. I just think we've give up some points to some teams that weren't as good offensively as Arkansas, and I'm not going to curse this. I'm not going to get into it. We'll go straight to. I got Tennessee 52, Arkansas 38. I think there's going to be some trickery. I think there's going to be some stuff we haven't seen. They're going to throw everything at the wall. You're going to have a bust here or there. If you give them extra possession, things like that, short fields, anything like that, I think they can score points. But I got Tennessee 52, Arkansas 38.
We give up 38. We're going to be on here Sunday night, Monday morning, Wednesday night, listening to everybody crucify Tim Banks again. We are. They give up 38. That's 100% what the narrative is. Can we stop Alabama? Coach, what do you got?
Yeah, I've got offensive dominance like most people, I think, out there, right? Tennessee's offense is among one of the best in the nation right now, really humming. I expect that to continue. And as mentioned, I think the run game could start to pick up. Not that it's been bad. I think that's a little bit of a false narrative, but I think the run game could start to pick up, and that's just going to continue to complement the play action game that's been so potent thus far. Arkansas's got a good offense. They got potential. They've also had turnover woes, and I think that's a bit problematic against this Tennessee team. It's going to be able to get you to kind of double up on scoring and get that 2-touchdown space. So I see it as a comfortable win for Tennessee. I really do. I'm gonna go 48-26 in this one. I just don't think they're going to be able to stop us at any point. And Tennessee's going to do enough with a natural pass rush and be able to keep the game in front of them. I think Petrino will be tricky and have some moments in this game with this offense. I just think they're not going to be enough to keep up with the machine, and the defense will do enough and cause turnovers enough to be able to affect the game and seal the deal.
I love it. Tomorrow, 4:15. We'll go live an hour before kickoff for the Tailgate Fan Call-In Show. We'll also be live immediately following the game. A lot of people continue to ask. This is why I should never even tease you guys with an announcement. Boogie, what's the deal? What's going on with Tuesdays? I've been ghosted for about a week and a half. So here's the reality of the situation. If I don't hear something soon, I'm flushing it. I'm flushing it. Like, this is a big opportunity for us. I want that opportunity for us. I've got to focus on this channel, and I got to focus on you guys in the chat. So if I don't hear something soon, Sunday night, we're going right back to the Fan Call-In Show because you guys deserve that. You guys, if we're not doing the new show, I want you guys to get that first voice on Sunday nights right after the game and then play NCAA on Tuesday nights. So if I don't hear something throughout the course of the next couple of days, we're going to go right back to the Fan Call-In Show on Sunday night. We may make some changes to that. We were already kicking around ideas before this new opportunity came along about letting you guys come on one at a time. Hang out with me, Coach. If Fowl wants to be on here, that's cool too. And kind of bring you guys one at a time. The last couple of Fan Call-In shows were complete chaos. Complete chaos. Everybody talking over each other, interrupting each other. That's not good for radio. It's fun. It's fun to hang out and just talk, but it's not good for radio. So we'll see what happens. If I hear something, I've reached out a couple of times waiting to get a response. If it doesn't happen, we'll go right back to the Fan Call-In. We'll go right back to business as usual for the fans, by the fans. We'll keep pumping out content like we always do. But what you know is we're going to be live tomorrow an hour before kickoff. We're going to be live immediately following the game, and we're going to be live Sunday night, whether it's me playing video games, hanging out with the boys, or whether we come on for a Fan Call-In show. So stay tuned in, stay dialed in, smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the merchandise. If you're not a member, And you got $1. Got $1? Got $1? We need $1. Hit the join button down below. We would appreciate the support. That is going to do it for Coach. For Val Ming, my name is Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin Vols Network. Go Big Orange.
That's all.